Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Adventures in Arcane Space. Once again, I am your Dungeon Master, AuldDragon, and the players are...
Hi, I'm Captain Higgimus, Corporal First Class, and I play a Giff Fighter.
Hi, I'm David Big Mac Shepherd. I play Braxon, who's a human fighter and the first officer.
Hi, I'm Daikami-sama and I play Solas ab Ebha, who is half-elven cleric mage of Ogma.
Hey, I'm James. I play Ockar, human paladin of Tyr, and I am very, very tired due to stomach issues.
You sound very tired. I'm Levalithana, an elven wild mage.
Hi, I'm Saka. I play the Specialty Priest Thief multi-class. His title is more of a descriptor than a title, but he's the covert entrepreneur of merriment and the philosopher of all clandestine and sly activities. I think it's a clandestine one.
I'll note here that you didn't actually mention your character's name.
Yeah, see, the party don't need to know that, or the audience, they can just guess.
Right.
It fits into all the sly and clandestine activities.
Sure.
He's being very covert and stealthy. He'll give a monkey ear. He'll be known as the Duckbane. So the audience.
So you either have a title or a name, but you never get both together.
The Duckbane.
Names, titles are very similar.
If you don't say your name, we're going to start calling you Laffy Duck.
Oh, that's a nice name. Yes.
So, Lafdul, are you having a sudden urge to find a Sphere of Annihilation now?
I don't think priests can use them, can they? I know wizards can.
Anyone can try to use it, I believe.
Plus, I've only got an intellect of 13. It would be disastrous for me.
Well, I mean, it depends on exactly how you set up the use of it.
If
All right,
I was trying to use it against Lever, who's got an intellect of 18.
The party has left the hammer. They're up in orbit, getting ready to leave and return to Brawl Space, I believe, unless there was something that people wanted to do beforehand. I had said that if anyone thought of anything that they wanted to purchase or do in the giant town, they just let me know. Was there anything that anyone wanted to do?
I acquired materials for paper making.
Yeah, that's fine.
Book building.
Yeah, we spoke about getting some wood. I haven't worked out how much wood we need.
I should rephrase. Is there anything role playing that someone wanted to do?
We want to sell those giant-sized jewelry because we believe that it won't sell very well elsewhere.
Okay, you guys did decide that?
Yeah.
Well, I think that was the general feeling rather than a decision.
Is there a local representative of the Seekers?
No.
Okay.
And since you guys didn't actually go through it on camera, so to speak, last time, let me read off for the viewers what was found in those in that pouch that the Jarl gave you. So you had a pair of plain silver dwarven rings, a plain giant-sized copper ring, a plain gold dwarven ring with a polished blue quartz stone, a giant-sized silver pin in the shape of a flame, a plain silver giant-sized neck torque, a silver dwarven ring set with a pair of citron stones, a giant-sized silver ring in the shape of a dragon breathing fire, a giant-sized necklace with a pair of dangling polished moonstones, a pair of giant-sized silver ear ornaments that cover the whole edge of the ear, decorated with whorl symbols, an intricate silver dwarven ring with a sardonyx signet, a giant-sized silver bracelet studded with amber, a giant-sized silver armband with a snake eating its tail with eyes of garnets, a giant-sized gold ring set with faceted paradots, and then there were some loose gems, 2 polished purple Cabochon stones, 2 striated red stones polished into ovals, 1 cloudy but transparent maroon faceted stone, 1 polished amber stone with a perfectly preserved scorpion inside, 4 transparent golden square-cut faceted stones, 1 strawberry red triangular faceted stone. Now, you wanted to just sell the giant-sized jewelry?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, let me calculate up how much that will be.
Yeah, also, as we're trying to recover something dwarven, I wonder if it would be worth setting aside the dwarven stuff to see if the dwarves want to buy that.
So if we make a pass back at the dwarven base.
Well, I mean, you have to eventually go back there.
Would
Oh,
Gialta
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
have anything of our loot?
Does she want to buy any of it, you mean?
Did she want any of it? I mean, she participated in getting it, so I don't think she should buy any.
Well, this was stuff that the Jarl gave to you.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff that I just read out.
Yeah, but I think we got some giant-sized jewelry from the fight with the giants.
Yeah, I suppose
No.
we could offer a piece or two.
You got
Yeah.
one thing, the ring made entirely of a piece of agate.
Would she want that?
No, she's not interested in it.
Okay.
Mhm.
Was that the one you said someone else could wear as a bracelet?
Yeah.
Someone with small arms.
Okay. All right. So before you leave Kalkanos, you look around for kind of the equivalent of a local jeweler kind of thing,
Mhm.
and approach her. She's got a small shop, and you offer to sell the things to her. And she will buy it all for 8,000 of your equivalent gold pieces. So 800 large gold pieces is what you get.
Nice.
One,
Does that mean we're going to have to melt down the gold pieces or try and find
Is that-
traders to take them?
Is that about right, Laf?
8,000.
Yeah, 8,000.
That sounds. Well, the thing is, I couldn't identify lots. This is selling for more than I know. As far as I know, you could be getting a good value for it, but a lot of this is beyond me.
Okay. Well, as long as it's not like blatant ripped off.
I don't know if
Yeah.
it's blatantly ripped off. That's the problem.
Well, if
I'm
I'm not talking indefinites here, I'm talking like, oh, they offered us 100 gold pieces type of thing.
All right, so
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
Her-
I'll roll I just rolled an appraisal proficiency check,
Uh-huh.
and Lafdul does not think that it is a blatant ripoff.
not a blatant ripoff.
As in, well, I mean, again, you don't know the value of some of the items. Like you just said, this is more than what you know. So your
Yeah.
gut feeling is that, I mean, they're definitely not giving you full value because she needs to resell the stuff and things like that.
Yeah, well, it's never going to be full value.
You think it's
Yeah.
reasonably fair.
Yeah, it is a reasonably fair. Just
I mean, if you
Alright,
want to try
then that's
negotiating,
what
you
we
can
do.
try to negotiate.
Well, we're not going to find a lot of places where there's giants buying stuff.
Yeah, I agree on this one.
just
As long as it's not
sell
like
it.
a blatant thing, yeah, we'll go and sell it then.
All the giant size stuff.
Okay, so that is the agate ring that you first got, the giant-sized copper ring, giant-sized silver pin, giant-sized neck torque, giant-sized silver ring of dragon, giant-sized necklace with moonstones, giant-sized silver ear ornaments, giant-sized silver bracelet with amber, giant-sized silver armband with the snake, and giant-sized gold ring with paradots. Feel free to mention if I missed anything, but I don't think I did. All right, so you get 800 large gold coins for that.
Does she sell any of the smaller stuff out of curiosity?
Does she sell? She does have some smaller pieces that were clearly made by non-giants. Many of those are essentially curiosities. Like they're kind of clearly being marketed by her as curiosities, or like there's a ring that's on a necklace, like a human-sized ring on a necklace.
So that's 8,000 in normal gold coins. So it's 800 in giant because each coin was worth 10.
Yep.
Could I?
Okay.
Could I do an appraisal to figure out if I bought stuff from here, if I could sell it for more on a regular world, because they're going to be underselling it because no one will buy it, so to speak? Or can I make that assumption?
You think she's selling things for about what they'd be selling for elsewhere, really? Even though they're smaller, in part because there's still the basic value of the artistry and the materials, and she doesn't have a whole lot of things. There's just like 5 or 6 smaller items, and they're all kind of in usable fashion. So,
yeah,
you know, a necklace that's turned into a you know, it's looped on a larger chain to make an interesting necklace kind of thing.
What's the most expensive thing she has in here vaguely, so get an idea of how...
Crying out loud.
You don't have to.
Most expensive? It's just like...
No. I want to know if I can pawn off the ring that I've got here. I come back after the party's left, that's all.
I mean, she did just pay you... Well, at this point, you think that you think that her anything else that if you wanted to get more out of her, you'd probably have to take it and trade, take something and trade.
Yeah. All right, never mind.
She's probably run out of liquid funds at this point.
All right.
I suppose there might be some giants who collect little jewellery, you know, like collectors,
and
then look at it through magnifying glasses, show their friends, and go, "Look at how tiny this stuff is."
Well, I mean, and some of it's just like curiosities and stuff like that, you know. I mean, so yeah,
it's fine.
Okay. With that, you guys head back out towards the crystal shell, unless there's something else that someone wanted to do.
No,
I think you said last week that Kijikun couldn't pick up any messages.
No, there's...
She wanted to look at songs or something, didn't she?
I mean, she listened to songs already. She spent some time. That was last session. And no, there weren't any messages that she could get here. All right. So it takes about 6 days to get to the sphere wall. If there's anything that people want to do specifically on the journey, let me know as well.
Heal up 4 hit points.
Everyone's going to be full hit points by this point. Yeah, I mean,
I'm trying to get my poison research done, so I'm focusing on that.
Okay.
I think I I
it
don't know how
was-
much wood we bought, but I think Braxon needs to start repairing the ship again. How much damage did we have?
Was it so that you couldn't use conjuration spells in the phlogiston?
Correct.
Yeah, the hilt's down.
I will warn Giatla of it,
Okay.
and
Oh,
also
that's a good idea.
warn her of open flames.
Okay. Quick question to everyone. The hilt's down 2 hull points, and the blade, the big ship, is down 4. I think we're probably better off fixing up the hilt because it's got less hull points.
Did you hire a carpenter?
Yeah, we got another carpenter.
Okay. So you can basically do 2 hull points per week now.
Oh, and they might have been doing some stuff while we were on the planet.
I will say that you got another hull point back on the blade.
On the blade. Right. Right, so we're down another wood.
And you're looking at, based on your the trip here, you're looking at about 4 weeks return to Brawl.
We gonna feed him more.
I hope so. I hope you guys are keeping track of that. Gyatla uses 4 times the normal person's amount for food and water and air.
Right.
Air shouldn't be a problem at this point, though. Because you were just, you could have dipped down into the atmosphere with the blade to refresh your air entirely, so.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we can change mine to heats for a change.
Yep. Okay,
Although
so, Gyatla is pretty eager to, learn anything that you guys are willing to share about space travel. Just being up in space is fascinating to her, although she does have some space sickness for the first few days.
Oh dear.
Oh,
Yeah,
I...
Braxon.
she can do it over the side anyway. She's on top.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
but
you want
also
to be at the bottom?
well, the good news is that based on the way that the ship is, being up on top also means that it's in the rear. So when she does relieve her stomach over the side, it's kind of a shower down to the gravity plane, but luckily it's far enough away from the rest of the ship that it doesn't cause a problem. But yeah, it is a sight to behold. It is a sight to behold.
Yeah. It's so lucky that things drift outwards slowly on the gravity plane
Yeah,
and then leave the air envelope.
yeah, because it's also not a
Isn't-
pleasant smell.
But in that case, she won't eat very much.
Out of curiosity, wouldn't your horizon that reduces nausea help her at all?
Wouldn't what?
Would the horizon there's one that helps alleviate. A single target creature suffering from nausea or pain is relief of its discomfort.
It would help a bit, but it's not gonna stop her from being space sick for the first few days.
Yeah.
Okay, so what Braxon will do, because he promised to tell her about this sort of thing, is he will get some tools that look a bit like the celestial bodies of full space. Is it full space?
Yeah, Forge Space.
Yeah, so he'll get a hammer for the sun, and he'll say, that's the sun, that's where you are. And he'll sort of lay them out the way that they're laid out.
Mhm.
And then he'll get, he had some marbles for throwing at people to make them fall over. He'll get them and he'll say, this is how most other spheres are arranged. And say there's usually a sun in the middle, but not always. And then he'll sort of lay them out and show how they go round. And then on the edge, he'll say, this is where the stars are, and the stars different things. He goes through that sort of stuff.
So the first day you're eager to share this because you like talking about that kind of thing. But she kind of waves you off on the first day, so you're not able to show her until the third day when she's finally over her space sickness. But at that point, she is quite interested, and she has many questions about the things that you've seen and stuff like that. Seeing the planets from this vantage point is also, once she's over the space sickness and she can finally like look at it, there is definitely an element of wonderment. On the other hand, meals with Varadra kind of get some snide comments from her.
Oh dear.
Varadra does not seem all that impressed with your new choice of passenger. Not going quite so far as to do anything, and she is quick to mention that it's captain's decision, but she definitely does not seem impressed.
I'll just mention that she did help us quite a bit.
Oh, I'm sure she did, but you can't trust those fire giants.
Mm-hmm.
Racial, what
Racial enmity in a Dungeons and Dragons campaign? No. No,
How
say it
could
isn't
that
so.
be true?
But she doesn't.
Solas will spend the few first days reading the Book of Dwarven Brewing and chatting with the Dwarven crew about brewing.
Distracting them.
Yeah, the dwarves aren't terribly impressed with your choice either. But again, captain's choice, and Yatla does make a point to try to stay out of your way as much as she can, being 18 feet tall. You use some spare canvas to kind of set up a makeshift tent up on the deck of the hilt, so that she has some privacy.
Mm-hmm.
And once she's over her space sickness, she offers to help out in ways that in any way that she can.
Lifting crew up like several.
And and just kind of lugging stuff around at least between the two the decks.
She could do the sails really easily.
Well, assuming she doesn't accidentally snap the ropes.
Yeah, there are small ropes.
But she can easily get between the two decks, exterior decks on the blade, and very easily shift stuff like lumber between them, and because of that, you're actually able to shave 1 day off of your repairs for this part of the trip.
Oh wow!
Oh, she can. To be the informer of our catapult shot pile, she can use that for throwing.
Yeah, you would have. She has some rocks of her own, but
I assume they're not unlimited.
no, they're not. And she'd much rather use your catapult stones in.
Oh, she got a bag of holding. Where is these giant-sized rocks that she's just
No,
holding
so
out
the conception of giants holding a big-sized boulder over their head and throwing it, that's not the way that it should be. They're
Is it bowling ball sized?
smaller than that. It's not even fist sized. But again, to you, this is a big rock, and technically anything bigger than 6 inches or something like that, or 8 inches is technically considered a boulder, which is why it's that. But most people, when they hear boulder, they think of something like 5 feet in diameter. But no, this is like the equivalent of you picking up a stone and throwing it for a giant. So she has a sack with about a dozen of those.
I at some point I'm going to inquire if she has any knowledge of poisons, because she's one of the less reputable members of our adventuring company who might be more open to interpretation of it.
She does not, but she is aware of some remedies.
Okay. Anything will help, add to my research.
So she's able to share that information with you.
Ockar gives Lafdul a strange look.
I'm not sure that you would have heard that. So
No, I don't
I know.
Besides,
Isn't Ockar always giving Lafdul a strange look?
Yeah, it's just like, what now? It's kind of like to walk past Ockar. I was actually going to use detect poison on the potions we got.
Every now and then, I just do a detect evil intent on him just to be sure.
You know, if we...
All right, so detect poison, and Braxon, you had a question while I'm looking this up?
Well, I was going to say, if we got a new crew member who's a giant, we should maybe do some new drills for combat and stuff.
Well, she's really more of a passenger, but...
All right, passenger.
I will also help Lafdul with detecting those possible poisons, since I also have that spell.
Yeah, but it's either or. There's no chance for failure.
That was me thinking.
There's always a chance for failure.
Actually, no. Is it 10% for level?
So Braxon,
Braxon,
you do go over some new procedures, especially with Gyatla. After Solas informs her of the nature of the phlogiston before you get there, she ends up having a lot of questions for you, and since she's helping out with the repairs, you tend to be the easiest one to ask in that situation.
Yeah.
She seems both fascinated and a little bit frightened of the fact that just the air around her in this place that you haven't taken her to yet could just burst into flames. So she ends up having a lot of questions about that.
Yeah.
Do you have any non-fire spells?
She looks at you and says, "Of course I do. I have a wide variety of spells."
Oh, if you got fire spells that cast fire at range and not sprouting from you,
there are very, very few ones that actually do that.
Yeah, I know. I was just asking to see if she knew any of them.
A wall of fire would one.
She doesn't have any rare spells though. All of her spells are common.
We need to get more acid spells. Actually, I asked Solas and Levi if they could take acid spells because we got the potential for regenerating creatures in the phlogiston.
I already have one acid spell.
Braxon asked Gyatla if she gets her spells from a deity or from a book.
We already worked touches, was it?
Yeah, you saw that she was studying a spell book. Yeah, no, that's fine.
Fair enough.
None of the potions that you have that you've picked up detect as poisonous. I believe. Let me double check.
There were only 3, I think. Oh, ceramic flask, an iron flask, a glass vial, and another iron flask all of liquid. That's what you got on.
Yep. Yeah, none of them detect as poisonous.
Did we identify these or not?
I don't think you did.
I'll give a pal. If someone wants to identify them. I got 2 on me.
Alright.
Does level 1 here? I assume it would be level. Is she there? I poke the wild mage.
Do not poke the wild mage. She'll explode.
Ow! Don't poke me like that.
Oh. Could I request, well, not request, could I put it to you to identify these potions? I'm putting in a pearl for it, so if you can.
Remember, Lafdul, wild mages are volatile. It's like a baking soda volcano.
That would just make Lafdul interested in poking her more.
Is there a wild surge means that Lever might accidentally cast fireballs in the phlogiston.
This is being done before the phlogiston, so. But yes, there is a wild surge that could result in a fireball.
Yes.
It's good to get the fireball out of the phlogiston.
All right, so the ceramic flask filled with a clear, syrupy liquid that smells of cut grass. That one detects as a potion of plant control.
Which one is it? Oh, right, man.
Ceramic flask filled with a clear, syrupy liquid that smells of cut grass.
Oh, so that would work against Artux, maybe.
Perhaps.
Hang on, what did it do? Sorry, I've written the descriptor.
Potion
controls
of plant
plants.
control.
Oh, plank.
Until you, if you haven't encountered a potion before, I mean, like, when it comes to identification, because they're potions, and potions are generally pretty common, I'm oftentimes going to just give you the name of the actual potion, but beyond the name of it, unless you've used it before, you're not necessarily going to know exactly what it does.
So, a potion of play control, can that allow you to
You don't know.
control an elven
You don't know? Well, okay, no, I will tell you that no, that it does not do that.
Okay, because I know those are made of plants.
Yeah, it's a special kind of crystalline plant. It doesn't... Most plant spells don't work on elven ships.
Okay.
They also don't regenerate air atmospheres, air envelopes.
I've had to move my microphone slightly so I can easily act.
Okay. An iron flask filled with a mead-like mixture. That is a potion of superheroism.
Ooh.
Superheroism, like, boosts, like,
One
your
Yeldon
HP and
had.
stuff.
I think Braxon had one of those before.
Either that or a
Oh
potion
yeah,
of
I
heroism.
think you had one and you never got to make use of it.
Well, it's the same as having it.
Yeah.
Was that one of...
Go ahead.
Just asking Braxon whether that was one of the ones that were turned into water.
I think it was.
Well, I know Braxton also had one potion that sort of... I put off taking one potion, take another potion. And then the other potion did what the other one would have done anyway.
So, next item?
A glass vial filled with a milky red liquid that smells of cherries. That is an elixir of health.
Oh, cool. That is, that cures, like, stuff, right?
Maybe. I'm not sure if you guys have used one.
I thought
Yeah.
I thought Braxton drank one.
We
You
can work it out
split
later.
them in half as well.
We can work it out later. A flask of a solid black oil with no scent. That is apparently oil of earth, elemental earth invulnerability.
Okay, so that
Nice.
makes you... What? Wait, elemental earth invulnerability?
Like I said, you don't know exactly what they do beyond the name until you use them. The name, of course, will usually give you a tip.
So if you were like turned to stone,
You
would be
don't
immune.
know.
If you had stone skin cast on you, you would be immune.
Just
Anything
the
that
name of that
has
kind of confuses me, but okay.
Well,
anything that has an earth elemental won't affect you. Like just like protection from magic protects magic from affecting you.
I don't think you drink that while we're in the ring that Braxton tried out.
It's not a drink, it's
It's
oil.
Oil.
You use it on
Sure.
yourself.
You lather it on your body.
Mm.
Okay.
So ceramic, plant control, iron flask, superheroism, glass vial, elixir health, and another iron flask, elemental earth vulnerability.
I mean, I can copy and paste some of these things in for you after the session if you
Oh
want.
no. I've wrote them in. I'm
Okay.
just Well, no, obviously I would appreciate in case I have got some.
Well, Asher would appreciate. Higgimus would appreciate it once he's back online.
Yeah,
is he
unfortunately
not
he lost internet access or something.
No.
All right, so the rest of the trip to the sphere wall is uneventful. In that time, you do get one. You can get 2 hull points repaired either on the hilt or the blade, or one each, or however you want to do that.
Well, I suggested doing it on the hilt first, and nobody disputed that.
I think to a certain extent, most people let you decide
Yeah.
where the repairs are done. So,
Do you need me to roll to see if?
yes, actually, you do. Well, no, one proficiency check. I will roll for the other one.
Is this a human carpenter or a dwarven carpenter?
It's a wood carpenter.
Yeah, I know, but
Nobody
where did you
carves
pick them
people.
up?
Yeah, D220, huh?
Oh, sorry. How did I roll a D220 and I still got 10?
There's 10 is one of the numbers you can roll up on from 1 to 220.
And I only got 1 above that. Right, where's my skill? Where's my proficiency? I'm looking through the character sheet for the ship. That would explain why I can't find anything.
That might explain. I think you got a human carpenter.
So I got 16 as my...
Okay. So 2 hull points are repaired. Leave it up to you to decide where.
Yeah, we're doing both on the little ship.
Okay.
Because that's easier to get destroyed or brought down to half hit points. Hull points.
That's fine by me.
Then we just got the big ship to do.
Okay. You do any preparations that you need, and then enter the phlogiston. Yatla is amazed by the colors. She's never seen anything like that before in her life. And kind of the first day, she's just kind of obsessed with looking everywhere and looking at everything and being amazed by the multitude of colors of the phlogiston. And you get underway.
That's what we were all like, wasn't it, the first time?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, Lafdul would have been probably like that.
Oh, how is Gyatla as a lookout? Has she got better eyesight than the rest of us because her eyes are bigger?
Not really.
Oh, okay. I thought she might be able to see further.
I mean, eagles have smaller eyes than we do, but they still have better eyes than we do, so...
That's true.
It's not necessarily about size. Size does matter when it comes to letting in a lot of light, but... So she might have slightly better night vision than you guys do, setting aside infravision, but just slightly. You get to the flow beacon about halfway through the trip, so go ahead and give me a check for the repairs. Said you had a 16?
Yeah.
There you go. Just enough.
Do I need to make a test for bookbinding? Since it's just a normal notebooks that I'm making.
Take a look in the proficiency description and let me know. I don't know that you do. It's usually for specific, special things. But Yeah, just
It was
take a look and let me
mostly
know.
for spell books.
Well, just take a look at the proficiency descriptions and let me know if it specifically says one way or the other. If it doesn't say one way or the other, then I'll make a decision after that. So Braxon, you got 2 more hull points repaired.
Brilliant, thanks. 1 left now.
Wait, 1 left.
Yeah. So we topped out the little ship and the big ship. Oh no, sorry, it's more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were down a lot on that.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm thinking
creature you
57,
do,
58, 59, 70. I'm like, hang on, you missed out 60.
Bookbinding only mentions the proficiency check in making spellbook, and if you pass it, you gain +2 bonus item saving throw
Okay.
due to the quality and craftsmanship of the work.
Is there no heat involved?
I don't think you need to use heat in papermaking. I believe that it's pulping and drying primarily.
Yeah, it's
and
pulping and
pressing.
drying.
So you're not actually binding.
Well, the bookbinding part is either by gluing or sewing them together.
Yeah, you can
in the
sew
bindings.
the paper so that there's not a need for glue
Okay.
Yeah.
if you don't want to use glue. Especially for a notebook, that's probably going to be the easier way anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, it only says about the proficiency check on the spellbook case.
Okay. Then no, you don't need to do a proficiency check for that.
Okay.
So you get
So
to
how much?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
How much fun is it for Braxon to get a bosun's chair on a rope, and to get Gatla to just throw him over the side of the ship so he can check all the ship?
Well,
Is she
you
good at that?
probably wouldn't want her to throw you over the side
Yeah, maybe
of the
not throw me.
ship.
Lower me.
That might cause some minor injuries. It's not that much different. I mean, it's a lot more fun to have her like actually lift you up to the top of a mast or something like that. So
Yeah.
all right, so you arrive at the flow beacon, indicating about halfway through the trip to Brawl Space, and continue on.
I forgot what was. This is something that's just been left on the route. This flow beacon.
Flow beacons are extremely old things in the Phlogiston. No one really knows their origins.
Right.
It's
So some sort of ancient empire that
maybe, who knows?
everyone
No one
everyone
knows.
says
No one
different
knows.
people did it.
Well, I mean, yeah, there are people who claim different things, but there's no evidence of any of it. So it's very much just like you could say, oh yeah, my ancestors made that, and you'd have as much evidence as elves saying elves did it or arcane did it or something like
Well, there's
Is
an
it so-
easy answer. The explanation for all things in D&D when there is no definitive answer, a wizard did it.
Yeah. Is it something we can touch?
that. Yeah, you can get up and touch it. You can pull in close. It's an extremely large metal object, probably about 300 feet tall, kind of spindle-shaped, and it has lights that slowly blink on it. When you get close, the lights are behind what appears to be glass steel surfaces or something like that. I mean, there's no no one's ever been able to damage or mar them, no matter how hard they try. Even diamond doesn't scratch it.
Mm.
Um,
And we can't tow them.
no, they are completely fixed in place. At least with anything that anyone's been able to try. Obviously, you can't under most circumstances, get anything larger than a 100-ton ship in there. And these
I
things
imagine-
are much, much bigger than 100 tons.
Right.
Has anybody tried using anti-magic on one?
You've never heard a story of it, so you don't know. But, I mean, people have probably tried just about everything that they could think of. They seem to be impervious to magic. Like, people have tried disintegrating sections to get inside, and it fails. No one's been able to identify what the metal is. It's kind of a shiny gray color.
It's probably orichalcum. If that's not a real thing in D&D, is it?
I'm sure it is somewhere, but it's not a common one.
I was just making that up because it's the go-to mythical metal. It's not mithril or adamantine.
But yeah, I mean, no one's been able to move them, harm them, anything like that, and divinations trying to get the origins fail, and considering that they're out in the Phlogiston, no one's been able to ask a deity about them.
Yeah, because they're not allowed in the Phlogiston.
So,
It might be even that most deities don't even know about them.
yeah, I mean, a deity
Yeah.
can send an avatar into the Phlogiston, but then the avatar would be cut off from the deity, and they'd only know that it was destroyed when they could make a new one. So they would
Has a
have
deity
no
ever
idea
tried
what the
Has the deity ever tried to
circumstances of
enter
it
the
would be.
Phlogiston themselves?
They
Or are they
can't.
just not able to?
Well, no, I mean they can.
You can send an avatar in.
Well, no, but I mean a deity could enter the Phlogiston. They would just have to leave their plane of existence, go to the prime material plane, and then actually enter the Phlogiston. But that would be kind of dangerous, because anytime a deity leaves the deity themselves leaves their home plane, they're pretty vulnerable to attacks by other deities. So Yatla is fascinated by this as well. I mean, like, you pull up close to it and you're telling her all the stories that you've heard. You're like, oh yeah, people say the Arcane did it, people say the Beholders did it, people said ancient empires did it, long lost races, all these kinds of things. People say that the elves did it and have forgotten. Like you're just like rattling off literally every story that you've heard, and she's just like eating it all up. But
you
continue on.
Some people,
yeah.
Some people spend their entire lives trying to find the origins of these things with no luck.
Or if they do, I mean, like that's one of the stories is that they say sometimes that when someone does figure it out, something comes and kills them or destroys them, or they ascend to godhood or something like that. I mean, there's for as many stories as about the origin of these things, there's a story about what happens when someone figures it out. So
yeah, I suppose if people figured them out, they might work out how to go somewhere that nobody else knows how to go.
Well, I mean, there do appear to be some that don't. Like, this one is at a branch in Flow Rivers, but some are said to exist outside of any flow rivers, and others exist on flow rivers that don't have any branches, and people figure that there was a branching flow river or something like that. So
right. So we use this one to get to full space, and there might be another crystal sphere that's not on our map.
There is another crystal sphere that way, but it would be on your charts. It's one of the known spheres. It's just that I haven't developed it. I haven't detailed which one it is, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
The characters know what it is. The players don't. So.
Okay. I thought we were going to discover it later.
I mean, you might go there. I just haven't had any reason to decide what sphere is off that.
Okay.
It's a dangling hook for me to use if I need you to go someplace.
Yeah. It'd be that sphere you knew about all the time.
Right.
It's over there. Right.
Exactly.
Okay, anyway, we're carrying on.
So you continue on. You get
How long did the spell research took?
2 weeks per spell level,
Okay.
but you can't do spell research while you're doing bookmaking.
Yeah, chose to take. From the point of us departing from the hammer, it's about a bit over 2 weeks that it takes.
Yeah.
And you said that it was about 4 to 5 weeks the whole trip back to Brawl.
It's about exactly 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Yes, it is about exactly.
Yes, that
Yeah.
that sounds right.
So, Braxon, a few days after leaving the flow beacon, you can roll for another hull point of repairs.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the carpenter has also succeeded, so you get 2 more hull points repaired.
Woo. This is good, being twice as fast.
And the rest of the trip to Brawl Space is uneventful. You see nothing else out there, no passing ships.
That's a shame. I was hoping that Gatler would get the chance to throw cannonballs at scavers.
Well, I mean, Gatla heard from some of you guys or some of the crew or whoever about some of the things that you encountered on the trip from Brawl Space to Forge Space, and she was very curious about what some of those would be, and it is a little disappointed by that nothing showed up, but
It's like we're all grateful, but she's like,
Yeah.
"Aw."
exactly. She was expecting a little bit more excitement. So you arrive at Brawl Space and enter the Crystal
Yay.
Sphere.
No more contact on power.
Yep.
Oh,
And
my I can recharge my thing. The fuse is used like 3 of it.
yeah, it
Oh,
recharges automatically.
That 1 per day, isn't it? But yeah.
And I can memorize armor again.
Wait, is that a summoning spell for you? Oh yeah, it is.
It's conjuration.
Oh yeah.
I have to make do with a shield.
Yeah. I feel so naked.
So, Braxon, shortly after returning to Brawl Space, you can roll for another point of repairs.
Constantly having to change up my spells depending on where we are. It's so annoying.
Wow.
It's like we're not on a phlogiston anymore. No more. Summoning spells take resist fires. Oh, we're not on the phlogiston. Take them out.
That die rolled in slow motion for me.
It happens. All right, so that's another 2 hull points repaired.
Woohoo.
You sound so enthusiastic. It's unreal.
Yeah, we've only got 7 whole points to go.
Yeah, it makes a big difference to hire other people who can do the same job that you can.
Normally it just takes ages. Braxon can't do anything forever.
I mean, it's not
Fed up.
literally all of your time. You can still do training
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
True.
And you get yeah.
Can Gatla learn and teach spells from the other spellcasters?
She'll probably be receiving more spells than the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah, she can, but I mean, number one, it's kind of hard for her to read one of your books in a lot of ways.
Right.
So she's pretty satisfied with the spells that she has right now.
Yeah.
Like if
Also,
she were to go up a
teaching-
level, she'd consider it, but
Also, the teaching would have to happen pretty much out in the open.
Mm.
well, I mean, all you need to do is read her spell book, but
So
it's a
is she
really
planning
big
to get
book.
out? Is she planning to get off at Brawl, or does she plan to
She's staying
see
with
the
us.
rest of the adventure with us?
She hasn't
Okay.
decided yet.
Well, I'll tell her about the if she's interested about the mages the guild and brawl that Ockar's sister is part of, in case she wants to check that
She
out
wouldn't
at
be
some
able to
point.
fit through the front door.
They're wizards; they can figure it out.
Yeah, she could shrink herself down, but still,
You could.
it'd be
It's a
very, very
college of
brief
wizards.
interview.
It's a guild of wizards. They probably have a method for it.
What, permanent reduce?
I
What
mean,
if
they
she'd
probably
be a
have
fan of
arcanes
that?
there.
Yeah, they're not like 18 foot tall though. They're only like 8 or 9 feet tall or something.
Arcane are 12 feet tall.
All right, 12 feet.
When you're dealing with wizards, anything is possible.
Well, not anything. Everything. There are some limitations.
Anything is possible.
Only when Ogma is involved. You should all convert to worship Ogma.
I
Braxon.
prefer Tyr.
Braxon rolls his eyes quietly and makes a sign of Tar.
Leva mutters to herself. They're all crazy.
Lafdul's not even
crazy.
listening. Lafdul's busy trying to poison himself, clearly.
So
The finer things in life.
the trip through Brawl Space is fairly uneventful as well. Yatla is, again, like she's talking to you, Braxon's, and like, oh, so this is what you were talking about with the other spheres, because there aren't any unusual, there aren't many unusual planets in Brawl Space like the Ruin or the Hammer. Yatla is extremely fascinated by the fact that you guys can't go to the bright planet in the center and it's not shaped like a hammer and stuff like that. This is just like blowing her mind entirely.
Do we go past any of the other planets that you may or may not have developed?
You do, and they're fairly normal planets. Most of the big planets in Brawl Space either are inhabited or have moons that are inhabited, although the asteroid belt that Brawl is in and Iron Piece are in, that's the primary hub of spell jamming and activity and stuff like that.
Do we go past Spiral?
No, Spiral is further in.
Okay. Because I don't know if you do Spiral with a Spiral C.
I don't know that that's canon.
No, I don't know that that's canon.
So
But I know some people say it's called Spiral because it's a C, the shape of a spiral, and I'm like, really?
Yeah, I don't remember that from... I think that it's just called Spiral because they were coming up with names.
Maybe. Okay.
Best way to come up with names.
It's a heavily forested world. Like there's very little open ground on it, and it's pretty heavily populated by elves, and most places are kind of off limits to other people, other than the major ports.
Right.
As you are approaching Brawl, you're about a day away, and this would be on, let's see.
How many days we've
First
been in
shift.
Brawl Sphere?
You've now been in for a week. It's on first shift, and you drop out of spell jamming speed, and quick look around, see what caused it. A crewman on watch calls out, "Wasp off the port bow!"
Really, a wasp?
First shift is Higgimus' shift, isn't it?
Yep, unfortunately he is not here.
Who's a Higgin? Oh, I'm asleep.
The there's something odd about the wasp. It's a little bit too far to really tell, but the lines look a little bit off. However, it basically swings around and heads away from you guys as quickly as it can. You might be able to catch up with it, but since it doesn't seem interested in contacting you, that would be considered aggressive.
Mm.
I guess since Higgimus isn't here, Braxon, I'll let you make the decision since you're second in command.
Well, Braxton's the state of a fight guy.
All right, that's fine. So you let him go?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know whether Higgimus will go after it because he likes treasure. But yeah, I mean, if you go after it, then you're starting the fight, aren't you?
Pretty much. I mean, it would be aggressive. It would be considered. It could be considered an act of aggression kind of thing.
Oh,
and stuff
we could signal it. Higgimus could get someone to signal it.
It does not respond to the signals.
Yeah, we'll let it go then. But take a note of what it looks like.
All right. It had a reddish coloring, and like I said, there was something unusual about the lines. Hard to say exactly what from the distance, even with the spyglass.
Yeah.
So it's definitely not a standard wasp. But what sets it apart is difficult to say. But it gets out
Braxton
to.
might have been able to roll a carpentry check, but he's to see. But he wasn't awake. Is our other carpenter on Higgimus' shift?
He is, but he's not as familiar with ships as different ship designs. He's primarily about just repairing them.
Right.
So it gets into spelljamming speed and takes off.
Yeah.
And with that, you continue on to Brawl.
This will be when we find out that it's a pirate ship.
I think Higgimus would have attempted to make tea at one point.
Yeah.
Maybe, but
and annoy Gatla. What was that infernal racket?
Since his player wasn't here to decide that, to tell me to do
And
that.
blow up in his face.
Well, I mean, that requires role-playing, and I'm not going to do role-playing things with with people who aren't here. Alright, so you arrive at Brawl. They do charge you the docking fee, water service, and air tax. Someone might want to write this down since Higgimus isn't here, because he'll need to keep track of this. It's 50 gold pieces and 4 silver pieces in total.
Yeah, I'm just trying to work out where to put it. Oh, I'll just put it in the chat for now.
Yeah, that's fine.
Before we dock to Brawl, Solas will give a basic layout and customs of Brawl to Kiatla.
Okay. Also, Braxon, you get one more hull point repaired, just as a few hours away from Brawl. So give me a roll.
Is it 50 gold pieces?
50 gold
4
pieces,
silver.
4 silver.
Are fire giants even allowed on Brawl?
Well, you'll have to find out. You don't know.
So that's air and water
You might have
tax.
to be escorted.
Air, water, and docking fee. It's all of it rolled up into one.
I mean, they allow illicids.
They got an embassy though.
Right, so
Well, they do also allow ogres.
another whole point.
And beholders.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
that's probably a failure from...
unfortunately, your repairs were flawed, and you have to rip them out and start again. The other one was done properly, shall we say? He rolled well, so you got one whole point repaired this time.
Okay. So he's a better carpenter than Braxon.
Actually, his score is worse than yours.
He's
It's
just
just
lucky.
that Braxon had a rough patch.
Yeah.
All right, so you dock at Brawl, seeing the fire giant, the harbor master kind of gives you a very quirked eyebrow, and
a bounty, is it?
and says, "Well, your passenger's gonna have to stay at Gron's over there." He points down to the far end of the docks, apparently to one of the docking caverns. He continues, Grond is an ogre who sets aside some space for the occasional spacey giant who comes in. I think she'll fit. But I don't believe there's any accommodations up in the city that would be able to suit one of her size.
Okay. So we'll take a walk over to Gron's at some point, and then we can walk Gatla around the rest of the city if she wants to take a look around.
Being very careful not to have her step on people, yeah.
Yeah.
She like docking here, she starts, saying things like how small everything is and how everything is so tiny.
How quaint.
No, not quaint, because it's not quaint. It's just like toy size to her. Like she has not been anywhere other than your ship where things are just not designed for her height.
Mm.
She feels like she has to be very careful to not damage anything.
Mm. It's a shame. It'd probably be less fun for her.
Well, she's loving it for now, at least. But
could she use my hat in disguise?
No.
I was gonna say, because you could reduce her size otherwise.
Yeah, but not that much.
Yeah, it would help.
I mean, it's like what I think it's 25%.
Yeah, still, you'd be like, I don't know, 14 or whatever.
Well, now you know the inverse of what we felt on the fire on your plan.
Yeah. So Braxon had told us there's places where we should study. So if she wanted to learn magic, she could learn it here. And we might be able to get some sort of thing that makes words bigger in books if we look around.
Oh, that would be interesting. That little person said the Grons was down that way. She points in the direction that he indicated. I'll go over there and get myself a room. It'd be nice to actually have a bed and a room to myself for a time. It has been quite a while now. Your ship was getting a little cramped.
Yeah.
It's probably nice to stretch your legs, so to speak.
Oh, yes. It is very, very nice.
Would we be able to get a giant-sized hammock and hang it from the mast to something else?
Unless she was a permanent member. Well,
your masts might not be able to withstand that weight. Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd have to have them reinforced with metal, barding around it.
Right.
I mean, she does weigh like a couple tons. I think that's what it came out to be. I'd have to go back and look to see what the exact weight was, but for a fire giant, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
So she gathers her possessions and heads down there. You know where she is if you want her. She says that she hasn't decided if she's going to continue traveling or she's going to stay here or look for another ship.
Okay.
In the trip, you have told her that there are other giants who occasionally dock here, and she indicated that she might want to travel with one of them. She hasn't decided
Right.
yet.
Yeah. Well,
But
Braxon would also,
for now, the most important thing
Yeah.
is an actual bed for her.
yeah. Braxon would
around
also have
what-
told her that if she wanted more work helping out repairs and stuff, he could introduce her to the shipyards guild.
She indicated that she might consider it. I mean, she could
Not
also
as a thing to do forever, but as
Right.
a if in between
Oh,
doing
God.
stuff.
right. She does thank you for that and lets you know that she'll consider it.
Around what time of day we arrived?
Early afternoon.
Okay. So Solas will at first visit the library to report to Seekers about this trip, and after that he will go and tend the Celtic temple.
Okay.
Confess your sins. That's what Ockar's going to be doing.
I don't have. What do I have to confess? Ockar plans to ask her, since it's been like a month since we were last here. Is that right?
More than a month.
Isn't it?
More than a
Two
month.
months.
2.5, give or take.
Yeah, since quite a bit of time has passed, Ockar's gonna ask around the taverns here at the docks about the pirate stuff, Kryn space that he asked about before.
Unfortunately, there's no new news. It takes even longer for news to come from Kryn space than Forge space. So
Okay, and then he's gonna go by his temple and tell them about everything that happened on in Fort Space and on the Hammer.
okay. All right.
demons.
Spellcasters are going to need to refresh their spell components as well. By the way.
Yeah, I'm doing one now.
Okay. Is there anything else that people wanted to do?
I've got a bank balance set up for the Thieves Guild. I'm going to check in with their
You got a what?
tithe thing. I had like 1,000 guild set in because that's how I'm paying my
Right.
thieves dues, so to speak. I had
Right.
1,000 guild, and I don't know how much has been drained out of that. So I need to refill that up, I think. So
When did you set that up? Was that right before you left?
Yeah, it's before we left.
Oh yeah, it's only I think 90 gold has been taken out then.
No.
Oh yeah, I will also inquire.
Hold on, what were you saying, Lafdul?
I put 90 back in
Okay.
to keep it up to 1,000.
All right, Solas.
I will also inquire about the research for that demon that we tasked the researcher to do.
All right. So while you're visiting the Seekers, you indicate to them that you'd asked a sage to do some research. Let me actually look up his name. All right. So you would have expected that he would have been done by now. So you ask to let him know that you're back, so that he can contact you.
Yeah, and contact Higgimus, since it was done for the company.
While you're there, the Seekers kind of concierge person that you talk to indicates that that sage Nebro has been acting strangely lately.
Oh.
But he will pass the message on.
How has his behavior changed?
Oh, he's just been, I don't know, keeping himself to himself a lot more. Seems rather nervous. don't really know. Haven't seen him much lately.
I see. Would you mind if to send a message to? I write a quick message for Higgimus to his office
Okay.
about this, and
Hmm.
ask him to send it with some runner.
Okay. Well, the Seeker there says that he'll leave a message for Nebro, and he'll get in touch with you when he's ready.
Okay. I will also sell the copy of my map of that I made for spelljamming ships to go into the hammer. If they are interested in it.
Well, the Seekers, you're a member of the Seekers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would not be selling a map to the Seekers. You'd be giving it to
Well,
them, add to their collection.
Giving them so that they can sell it for me. Is that possible?
They will take a copy of it for their records. They may make some copies for their, and distribute amongst the branches. But if you want to sell it, then that's up to. If you want to make copies of it to sell, that's up to you.
Okay.
But you would feel an obligation to give them a copy that they can then distribute to their.
Yeah, of
branches.
course I'm giving, because as a cleric of Ogma, knowledge is something good to distribute.
Okay.
And as a member of Seekers. Is there any merchant guild or something like that in here?
There are lots of merchant guilds for various various types of merchants.
Do I know any of whom of the guilds who trade with forge space?
There are a few. It's primarily those who deal with metalwork tools. The dwarves, of course, all trade there. It's a major dwarven sphere, so
Yeah.
a lot of just dwarven-made items come from there. I mean, it depends on what you want.
Well, I was thinking if there was one of these guilds that might be interested in purchasing a copy of this.
You could probably go to. Let me take a quick look. I believe the Smith's Coster would probably be your best bet. Let me take a look at them. Just give me a second.
Yeah.
They tend to work in trade in weapons and armor and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you could go to them and see if they're interested.
Well, I will go to them next thing tomorrow, since this evening or rest of the day I will spend in the temple.
Okay. All right. Anyone else want to do anything on the first day?
I don't think Leva could do this on the first day.
Okay.
She wants to study a spell. Improved
like,
invisibility.
well, research, or are you copying from a spell book that you have?
Well, due to Lafdul's false optimism, Leva failed. Failed the dice last time, so I guess she has to research it, or can she just?
Lafdul
No, you have
randomly
to research it.
sneezes while walking
So
down the
she has to
street.
research it.
And that would be 2 weeks per spell level.
Oh my god.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
People, I'll see you back in 2 months.
And we need a library that's able to support that level of spell research. We can do first and second so far.
Oh, can we upgrade your library with books from
And
Realm?
something the casters contribute towards it when we do.
Well, do you want to? You're in Brawl. If you want, this is a good time to do it if you want to do it.
I'm
Yes.
not investing right now because I'm saving up for an altar. Not an altar. Is it an altar? The second tier for my Bloodstone?
I don't remember. I mean, if you're saving
No,
up,
it's
you
a
might as well
10,000.
start saving up for the third one. I would say, but
No, that's 25k. And that's 5th level spell.
it's up to you. It's up to you.
I get what I can afford. That's a
Alright.
10k.
Just feels like if you're gonna go for an upgrade. But whatever, it's up to you.
Oh yeah, sure. If I went for the end, I'd save out on like 15,000. But you know,
Okay.
How much would the upgrade cost?
I mean, it's
About
not an
1,000
upgrade.
gold.
It's buying a new one.
Our library.
Oh,
Buying
the
a
library.
new library.
Let's see.
yeah, upgrades. It has more books of third level research. Wasn't it like 1,000 gold for every spell level?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I saw it in the book. God knows what's in there. I think it was Ghost of Powers. Does.
Let's see. You would need to put in another 2,000 gold pieces to get to 3rd level, and then another 2,000 on top of that to get to 4th level.
Really?
Yeah.
I
4,000
paid
total.
2,000. I paid 2,000 for 3rd level.
Okay.
You know, we're meant to be splitting this 3 ways now instead of 2, because me and you did the first 2. Because that was fair on all of us if we all split it. I don't mind splitting it, but I don't know if Daikami can. And
All
I
right,
don't
in
know
that
when you
case,
start.
if you
I
pay
do
2,000,
not have even 1,000.
all right, I
I
prepare.
will pay half.
All right.
Actually, 2,000. And you
Yeah,
pay
me
the other
too.
2,000.
So we have 4,000 in total. That's 2 levels, isn't it? That's 4th level.
Yeah.
Let me just check my build. 2, 4.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna be push. I can. Hang on, that's. I can do. I got 3,500. I do not have 4,000.
You don't need 4,000.
Alright.
You need 2,000.
Oh.
Yes,
All right.
you take half. We
Oh
split.
yeah. All right, yeah. Yeah, I can do 4.
2.
Yeah, no. I'm on about my trade bars. I'm minusing off 4 of them because they're 500 good each. The brawl ones.
Okay.
Ugh, it robbed Lafdul his money. But he's not even going to do spell research for it at the moment. It's happened again. I know. I just felt like offering because it's something that Lafdul's going to use at some point as well.
All right. Also, if you since Higgimus isn't here, this probably isn't an issue yet. But if you wanted to, no one's going to take the large gold coins. You'll have to get them exchanged.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think any of that's been distributed yet, but I'm just making that mention. So you, the two of you, spend a little bit of time going around, getting appropriate books and things like that. It will take 3 days total to get everything purchased and delivered and set up on your ship.
Sounds good.
Okay. Alrighty, let me go make a note of that.
And if you're doing spell research for such a long duration, you can only ever do it through the flow. Because even after, when we get to the destination, you can't stop researching. You lose progress, don't you?
So the way that I'm gonna say it is that if you take a break, for every day that you take a break, you lose a day's progress. So in other words, if you spend 2 weeks and then you quote-unquote adventure for 2 days, then you need to do another 2 days to get back to where you were, and then do the and then continue on with the week's worth.
Okay. So Leva could start on researching improved invisibility.
You could, but keep in mind that you're not like Iron Piece is only a couple days away from here.
Okay.
So there's a pretty good chance that if you started right now,
You'd lose all of it.
Nah,
yeah, you'd
it's
lose
okay.
all of it. So
You only want to start when you're doing a long trip.
yeah. All right. Solas, the next day you pay a visit to the Smith's Coster. Let me actually see if I can figure out which building that is, just so you guys know. Yep. That is number 60. I need to actually find it here. Okay. It is...
Great market.
Yeah, it's by the Great Market. Right over here. So you head over to the Smith's Coster. They're well known for arms trade and a new source of metalworking might be of interest to them. Is kind of your thinking. You see hanging above the door to the shop a wheel lock and a shield as the symbol of the Smith's Coster. And you enter their showroom. The room is a large open showroom filled with weaponry of all kinds, from mundane daggers and swords, spears, polearms. There's a rack of various types of arquebuses and wheel-lock pistols, and even some larger weapons like catapults and ballista, models of the ones too large to fit in the showroom, so that people can see roughly how big they are, what they'd be like
I'm
on a ship,
interested in looking
that
at
kind of stuff.
the quality of those siege weapons.
They are all high quality pieces. The Smith's Coster definitely has things of any quality. Basically, they tailor their sales to the income level of their customers and stuff like that. But most of the stuff here in the showroom is of the highest quality. Like, I mean, this is the stuff that they're, that they push. They want to make a good impression.
Yeah.
As you enter, one of their sales agents comes over and says, "Welcome to the Smith's Coster. How can we help you today? We have a fine selection of weaponry, swords, armor, polearms. We did just get an excellent shipment of polearms in from Realm Space recently. Fine lantern equipment, if you...
Greetings.
that?
I'm not here to actually buy, but I'm here to inquire if you would be interested in potential new place to acquire goods and perhaps sell some goods.
Oh, we're certainly interested. What can you share some details on what this source is?
Well, it is a place in Forge Space.
We are well familiar with the dwarves there.
Not the dwarves.
Oh, do tell.
Oh, yes, there is actually a place where there are smith giants that make very high quality goods.
Giants, you say? I think we
Yes.
have heard rumors of those, but what do you know of them?
Well, I just come from there. I visited them recently, and I actually made this small map that might be helpful for any merchant that would be interested in going there with spelljamming ships.
Do you have a sample of their work that I could take a look at?
Not with me, unfortunately, but I can tell you that the dwarves are very interested in always buying their goods.
Well,
And
without...
they are very excellent. They have craftsmanship that I have never seen before.
Well, without a sample of their goods, I don't know how much of interest it would be, but if you have a chart, I suppose we might be interested in purchasing it for 35 gold.
Do I know how valuable these usually are?
Not unless you did some research beforehand.
Well, it didn't cost me that much to make, so... And I'm not in the business myself, so
Okay.
I will sell it.
Please hold on. I'll get some coin for you. He goes behind a counter and extracts some coins from a safe, and comes back and hands you 35 gold pieces.
Okay, and I will hand a copy of the chart.
Okay. We will our next trading vessel to Forge Space. We'll have them swing by this location, see what we think. Thank you for the information.
One word of caution: the lake that the ships land in there is not very suitable for a long-term landing in there.
All right.
It might cause damage to the vessels.
All right. We'll keep that in mind. He writes on the back of the chart a few notes. What is the nature of the damage that might be caused?
The place is really hot, so it. Well, I basically tell them what I heard about the damage.
Okay, so he makes some notes. We'll keep that in mind. That unfortunately does make it a bit more difficult. That we could use them as a trading partner.
I am able to show their coinage. That is very fine work indeed. Also, they work. They use larger coins than we do.
I'd be happy to take a look at the coinage.
Well, I visit, or if I don't.
I didn't say that I have a couple coins on you.
Yeah, I show the coinage that they use.
Okay. This is interesting work. We'll definitely keep this in mind. Thank you for the information.
Well,
and he hands the coin back to you, and
yeah, I will be, if you are interested, and I'm traveling a lot, so I could probably make some other charts and bring them to you to buy if you want.
That could be of interest. We would certainly be more interested if we could get samples of the of their workmanship.
Oh, of course. I just didn't think about it this time.
Well, keep that in mind, and we'll definitely consider it. I obviously cannot make any promises at this time.
Of course, I understand.
All right, so you go ahead and leave?
Yeah, and if some other merchant guild comes into mind, I will also sell them a copy of the chart.
The Smith's Coster is the main, like the big weapons trading company.
Is there any metalworking trading companies other than weapons?
Not really. Not actual trading companies. They're mostly individual merchants, some of the merchant houses and things like that. But
Well, I leave a message with the harbor master that if there is merchants that are looking to possibly go there and do business, that I would have charts to sell.
okay.
Since I think harbor master would usually know about these things.
Yes. Yeah. Unfortunately, you in the over the next couple days of being here in Brawl, you don't get any bites.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to happen immediately.
Okay. All right. Anyone else have anything? Yep.
Yes. Leva and Lafdul were sort of sitting in the background talking to each other. And
The rumors are wild.
yes, sticking our heads together, whispering to each other. And so finally Leva speaks up and says, "Hey, Solas, we're quite prepared. Well, I'm quite prepared to let you go without you paying your part of the upgraded library. But I think that after all, you get the usage for free, and so Leva would like to sort of if ever there's an argument or something about some type of loot, that she get first bits on it. Lafdul is more interested in the money, so you might want to talk to him if you are interested in paying him or something."
Well, it's more of the case that I want, if we're all going to use this, that we all contribute towards it on some measure. How you contribute towards it, either via items or money, it's up to you. We get.
I will be. I will and would be glad to contribute as soon as I have enough money.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I thought you were going to say. As I was
just that at the moment I have, if I counted correctly, I have about 500 gold pieces worth.
Yeah, and you'll probably get more once the money gets divvied up, but we don't know when that is because that's just not here. No, but it's something to bear in mind because if we, as Lever pointed out, if we don't say it now, it feels a bit mean pulling it on you when you suddenly get money.
Yeah. It's loot, and we say, "Hey, we've already given you something, so it's better to do it now."
Is it Solas that makes books?
Mm-hmm.
Well, how about Solas makes some books for you as a service in lieu of
a few hundred books.
No, the spell books are quite expensive.
I think it's better to participate with money than just making books. We have the book business already sorted out.
We have?
Yeah.
You will contribute the part for me, and I've worked out that I'm paying him 55 gold whenever I want, but I don't know what it is for you. I think you just pay flat rate the material.
Yeah, it's basically
part of it.
Basically Leva and Sinrae has to only pay the material costs.
Okay. And you're getting some money out of it from me. So
and they get a part of the money that I get from when someone who didn't participate in the tools cost.
Funny how the non-book user in the non-arcane lights wouldn't have as strong an inclination for it.
Who is a non-book user?
Well, I mean, I don't use books as much as you two do. I still use books, I just don't use them as much.
Yeah,
you and Sinrae both have your spells. Your spell books.
Leva and Sinrae and Solas sort of shared the last big shopping trip that he made for ingredients for books.
That's for but that benefits you greatly because you're all arcane casters.
So far, it hasn't benefited me, Leva, at all.
Well, that's your choice of investment. That wasn't something I was investing in, so it doesn't benefit me that much. That's why I'm willing to front the gold cost. It's still going to be cheaper than buying stuff from Brawl. And he earns money from it, so. I don't know.
It was 4,000 that you paid altogether for those levels.
Between both of us for all 4 cast levels.
2,000 each.
Okay.
Well, if you count the other 2 levels, but I don't know if we're including that or not.
Keep in mind also that, Sinrae might be... I don't know if you've talked to Sinrae about it, but she can research spells too, so...
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that bards could research. I thought they could only copy.
Well, it's not explicitly clear, and there's certainly some people who debate it, but as far as I'm concerned, they have normal wizard spellcasting ability, so I see no reason why they can't research spells and make magic items, as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
I find it silly not to restrict them from what I don't think should be a class ability kind of thing. I mean, to a certain extent, like a fighter can quote unquote make a magic item, provided he has someone casting the spells. Like they could do the foraging, they could do all kinds of the gathering of ingredients and anything that's mundane, and then just have a wizard friend cast the spells kind of thing. But anyway,
just to make it sure and clear it out, did you, Lafdul and Leva, did you think splitting that 4,000 in 3 parts or 4 parts in Sinrae can also research spells?
well, I don't know if you guys have talked to Sinrae yet about it.
No,
Sinrae's not
this
here.
has only just come up.
So to 3 parts.
Well,
At the
pretty
moment,
sure.
how
Sinrae
about
would be
this?
interested.
How about this? Discuss it between the 4 of you after the session, because I haven't heard anyone mention Sinrae in these, which means that I don't know that she's been brought into the conversation.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I've
because
mentioned
the
it a
idea
lot,
just
but-
came up about 5-10 minutes ago.
So it's a good thing to discuss after
Yeah,
the session.
yeah, we can
but
discuss it after.
Mm-hmm.
the obvious starting point is a 4-way even split, at least going forward, kind of thing.
Yeah, and I'm willing to participate in these levels, of course.
If you discuss that near the crew, Braxon will probably say that it'd be nice to have free access for our Highling spellcasters.
Yeah, they get it automatically, I assume.
Yes.
Most
don't
of them
think
don't
we-
have time to research spells because they're on the helms so
Yeah.
much.
Oh, really? Oh, that's a
Well,
shame.
Varadra might.
Well, Varadra is a priest, and
Yeah.
Yeah, but she could take over. They could work something out, so to speak.
yeah, but at the same time, they can also just benefit from your own spell research by copying out of your spellbooks when you're done.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, I refreshed my healers back, the used
Okay.
parts, and I reduced the money from my bank.
All right, so you're going to be here for at least 3 days. Braxon, are you going to want to get some more lumber, or are you going to wait?
Well, we didn't quite sort out the lumber in the last place.
Do you know how much lumber you had
Right.
before the last place?
Well, I'd
We
said
did buy some.
I'd said-
Hold, go ahead, Braxon.
I'd said last week we need to stock up on lumber.
Right, I understand
we
that, but
didn't
you
sort out
had
the
some
exact-
already.
Well, we've gonna have gone under. The last place we could buy it at normal prices, so Braxon would have wanted to have bought as much lumber as possible.
Isn't it on the
in
cart
full
sheet?
space.
Right, but you had some before.
Yeah, which was nearly gone.
Okay, how much of that was that?
Well, looking at the player sheet, we have, with what we were doing on the way back, because I didn't realise Asher was gone. I was trying to talk to people in our chat. We have minus 8 hull points of what we bought in Forge Space. So I know last time I think you mentioned the price of wood, but I can't remember how much space we've got to have wood.
5 hull points of wood fills up a ton of cargo.
Right. So if we'd have bought the maximum amount, how much cargo space have we got? Let's see.
Well, you've halved your cargo space because you
Oh yeah,
put a library in.
we got wizards in there, haven't we? So
Clearly need bigger boat.
no, I'm not sure from the character sheet how much.
That's
cargo
what they
space.
think of us, that we are just cargo, just fillers.
All right, let me
less
see
object
what I got.
70 tons is cargo. It says 35 tons, but we've lost half of that, so we've got 16 tons. 16 and a half.
17.
17.
Yeah, 17 and a half. That's what you would have. And we'll just round it up to 18. It's just easier that way.
Yeah. Okay.
So 18 tons of cargo capacity normally. I mean, that's a lot. That would be a lot of wood if you filled all of that up, and I don't know that you could because you probably have some of that devoted to spare food and stuff like that.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to wait until you're at Iron Piece and see if they're selling lumber.
No,
that's
because I
fine,
already
too.
said we bought the whole. We already bought the wood.
Right. Well. Yeah, but
We
you've
can sort it
used
out at the
some
break.
of that. I mean, you've used some of it, so.
Let's sort it out in the break.
I mean, my question is whether you wanted to buy any here.
No, I wanted to get as much wood as possible because it was normal price in Forge Space and it's double price in Brow.
All right, so you wouldn't have wanted to get any more here at Brawl to top you up, kind of, so to speak.
I would top up the 8. Nah,
Okay.
no, because
All right.
we'd have unless Higgimus didn't want us to have tons of stuff.
All right, that's fine. That's up to you guys. All right. Anyone else have anything at Brawl that they want to do?
I visit the Elven temples.
Okay. Anything
How
in
much?
particular that you want to do at the Elven temples, or is this just, hey, I'm back, I'm doing my normal religious stuff?
Yeah, I'm just checking in.
Okay.
Pretty much doing all that stuff.
Sorry,
Any
what
news?
was the price of wood?
50 gold pieces at the hammer. It's 100 gold pieces on Brawl.
Yeah. Thank you.
No problem.
All right, I'll start working it out.
Okay.
Thanks.
So yeah, for every ton of cargo space, that's 5 hull points of repair materials. So, alrighty. I guess we'll take our break a little bit early and come back in about 10 minutes. And unless there's something that someone thinks of that they want to do at Brawl, head off towards
There is
Iron
something
Piece.
I need to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it quick, or do you want to wait until after the break?
No, I can do it after the break.
Okay.
He needs to get Holy
It's
Sim.
never quick. You know what that is.
Yes, gotcha. All right. All right, so we'll be back in about 10 minutes, everyone. See you shortly.